Hey guys, recently the popular social media personality in the person of Gehgeh released a statement directed towards the popular TikTok star and online streamer Pella. That statement was kind of funny though. Now, before I proceed on that matter, let me use this medium to congratulate the TikTok star Pella and also his wife to be Jarvis. A very big congratulations to the soon to be couple. At first when the whole thing came online, it came to everyone as a shock because even up to now, so many people are still thinking, they are still wondering if this whole thing is real, or could it be that they are doing content, or is something like a skit, or people are still wondering what is actually going on. And from the look of things, it's very clear that the Pella and Jarvis, they have made the move that they have made the move they are willing to make after making their decision. And it's very clear that Bella is about getting married to Jarvis, and he has gone to Jarvis' hometown, to do all the necessary things, pay a bride price, and make provision for other things that we required of him as in-law. So a very big congratulations to the couple. I remember in my previous post when I kind of referred to Pella and Jarvis as they are still growing. So why rushing to marriage? I believe a majority of you must have come across a post which I did, where I talked about them rushing. So why are they rushing and stuff like that? So even though I still think that maybe Jarvis is pregnant, so that's why they want to just do the whole thing rushly. So I don't really know. I don't really know, but we have to just put that one aside and congratulate the couple, and also appreciate God for everything, for how far they have gone together. Now, on the main matter, you know, uh, Gehgeh, referring to Pella, like he's a growing child. Imagine a growing child, getting married. It's kind of funny, but you know that to an extent, I will agree with Gehgeh on that, because Pella is still growing. Jarvis also is still growing. So the way I see it, I feel like they are not matured enough. They are not strong enough to handle the affairs of a husband and a wife. To handle the affairs of becoming a husband and wife. So I don't really know. I think maybe this union, but I don't pray for anything negative. I don't pray for anything bad. But this kind of a union, where we have young people like this, so many people are already thinking that it may not end well. So we don't want to see a situation whereby tomorrow Jarvis will now divorce Pella for a reason which we may not know. We don't just want anything to come up. But divorce is not like a normal thing. Other elderly ones, they do get married and divorce, so it should not be a new thing. But we are not wishing for anything of such. Now, one thing I want us to look at now, if you take your time to study these two, Pella and Jarvis, you will see that Jarvis behave more mature than Pella. Jarvis behave more mature than Pella. So now, don't you think in this their union, Jarvis we tend to be handling things more better as a mature lady, unlike Pella. Pella may still be, you know, exhibiting that character of a growing young guy, that character of a young guy who is not very who is not that very matured, who is not that very strong to handle things, to handle the affair, of a husband and a father. You understand? So I don't know what you already think about this. I think that I still maintain my stand that they are really rushing this thing, and I don't know if maybe Jarvis is pregnant. Maybe because Jarvis is heavily pregnant, maybe because Jarvis is pregnant, that's why they want to rush things. Because I know that it will not make sense. If you still look at it that way, it will not make sense that Jarvis becomes pregnant, and the tummy start to show before they get married. So it's also a wise thing, for them to get married before the tummy will show up, because there's already a rumor that Jarvis is pregnant. So I'm not really 100% sure about that, if she's really pregnant, but it still makes sense for them to rush and get married since they really love each other. You understand? But so I've come to settle on this matter, whether they should get married at this age or not. It does not really matter the age. So let's just be straight, let's just be sincere. It does not really matter the age. So they are cool. But my only fear is their level of maturity. You understand? So they can get married at this age. No, there's no problem with that. But my only fear is the level of maturity. Because from the look of things, you see that Jarvis behave more mature than Pella. So do you think, I want to ask you guys, what do you think about Pella becoming someone's husband, becoming a father, and Jarvis becoming someone's wife and becoming a mother. So I can say that Jarvis is mature, is kind of matured enough. Jarvis can take up that affairs of a wife and a mother. But I fear for that of Pella. So I feel like Pella still has more growing to do, unlike Jarvis. You understand? So I don't know what you think. Do you agree with the fact that Pella still have more growing to do before he can take up the affairs of a husband and a father? Unlike Jarvis. I don't know what you all think about this. You all have your thought on this. I'll see you on next video.